So people are starting to talk about Braso again. If you don't remember, over the summer I made a video about him talking about how he was milking the Technoblade situation, and then he was mad that people were like calling him out on it, which was funny to me. At least he's in like early high school. I think he's around 15, 16, 17, something like that. So he's a younger guy, but he's old enough to know that like his decisions are dumb, and it feels like every time he makes a bad decision he'll bring up the fact that he's a younger guy. Now, Sensitive Society ended up putting out a video where he talked about the current state of his channel, so I decided that I wanted to talk about it because his video was pretty good, and I was like, oh yeah, this will make a nice little topic for me to talk about. So
Technoblade's last video, reacting to Technoblade Never Dies by YouTube, emotional. This is a month old. Technoblade passed away 3 to 4 months ago, and he's still talking about it. This is a month ago. Guys, this is the definition of a fall off if I've ever seen it. We all see YouTubers come and go, and every YouTuber's time eventually runs out. We're just trying to hold on to it for as long as we can, but this is just a new level of falling off. I have never seen anyone fumble the bag, grow to 140,000 subscribers, and number one, ruin his reputation with everyone, made him extremely unlikable.
you know, he's kind of got like a sort of Jaden style of thumbnails. That's not really the most important thing, but the reason that he continues to clickbait Technoblade is because a ton of commentary channels were talking about him. That was his biggest moment in YouTube. We say this a lot with one-hit wonders who don't know how to innovate. He's just trying to drum up the same old thing. He wants people to talk about him. So yes, I am playing into this, but I just felt like talking about it, and I doubt that my influence will be able to, severely, revive his channel. I think he's done for, and I think that he will at some point realize it, or maybe he has realized it, but he's in a semi-state of delusion. He's like, no, man, I'm Braso. I built this brand. I got over 100,000 subscribers, grinding and working hard. There's no way that it's gonna fade like this, and it is. His channel's going off into that sweet night.
And number one, ruined his reputation with everyone, made him extremely unlikable. Top of that, he doubles down and still talks about Technoblade. And before he used to get hundreds of thousands of views on the Technoblade videos, he literally got 4,000 views, 5,000 views. This is what you want to be known for. Maybe if you got 1 million views and you were making crazy money, it will be worth it, right? But my dude, ruining your whole career and reputation ain't worth 4,000 views. And then we have this video again. Technoblade's new tweet has the secret. It's really disrespectful.
He's right. It really is disrespectful, but Braso doesn't care. Braso's only focus is on Braso's channel. All right. I don't want to, always assume things about people, but it seems clear to me that Braso is a person who tends to think mainly of himself, and his main goal is to take care of himself, which isn't always bad, but when you do stuff like this, it is very bad, and I'm glad it's not working out for him. His channel is dying, and it's going to continue to die because he's hitched himself to a wagon that has 1,000-pound lead weight in it, and he's just going to keep sliding down the hill. He doesn't know what else to do. All right, like I said, he doesn't know how to innovate. He doesn't know how to change things. All right, and I'm not saying that this channel is super innovative, but when I see something's not working, I stop doing it. I can't just talk about the same thing every single day. People in my audience might like, when I talk about Hassan, when I talk about Keffels, but if that was the only thing I ever did, I'd probably get like 5 views per video, and nobody would be interested in me. I'd probably still be at like 20 subs. But because I branched out and did other stuff and talked about other topics, more people are interested in me, because the more you diversify, the more people are going to be drawn in. That's just the way it is.
Even though he said, guys, I will not do this anymore, I'll stop milking Technoblade, that was 3 to 4 months ago, and he's still doing it. This guy does not learn his lesson. This guy's the biggest loser on YouTube, and there's a lot I can count.
I went on Twitter and I was met with a crazy surprise. I received a notification from Technoblade. I was just lost for words.
Okay, first off, who is it that watches this guy, right? Because at first I was like, oh, he's just catering towards children. But no, he seems to curse, a healthy amount. So it's like, are you like marketing towards like middle school kids? I would think, like, I would hope that even in middle school, I'd be like, this is dumb. I'm not going to watch this guy. And, well, that's reflecting in his content. But the thing is, the reason that he said, I'm not going to milk the situation anymore, is so that he could get heat off of his back. He wasn't, earnestly thinking, oh, man, I got to change. This is unacceptable, man. People expect better out of me. No, okay, this isn't, a guy who's very self-reflective. Surprisingly, I know that might be a bit of a shock to some of you watching, but this isn't, this isn't a philosopher here. This is a guy who's failing badly at this whole YouTube thing. But hey, he has over 100,000, almost like 150,000 as of right now. So like, I mean, clearly he was doing something right, and he just abandoned it, and he's here now.
This. Hello? Taps mic. Is this thing on? Techno Dad here. A lot of people are wondering, why in the hell did you tweet this? Like, just randomly? Is it random?
You have to be mentally ill. You have to be a really, really, really shitty person in order to continue this. When you promised you were going to stop, when you promised you were going to give money to charity, all the money you made, all the thousands of dollars, and then you never gave it back, and you bought a PC instead. With that money you made milking a dying person. So it just shows you what type of guy this person is. And I don't care if he's 17, 18. At that age, And then we have this one, Technoblade's dad, new YouTube channel. And in the thumbnail, he's a YouTuber, guys. Like Pyrocynical said, you can no longer die on peace here on YouTube. And that should be one thing that should not be touched.
That is the really unfortunate part of doing this commentary stuff, is that sometimes you get grouped in with people like this, right? People who will just talk about literally any situation, right? I think the only time I talked about a death on here was, Bob Saget. And the reason I talked about him was because he had a deep connection to my family due to like how much Full House we watched. Well, not him personally, but like him as a character on Full House. I loved him so much on that show. And so when he passed, unfortunately, I wanted to talk about it. But I wasn't making money off the channel, and I still am not, okay? So it's very different. Okay? I did not buy a PC from the proceeds from that 2-minute video. I didn't know that he kept the money. I took his word for it when he said that he was going to give the money back when he got a chance. I know he said that he, couldn't at the time because he just didn't have it anymore. But he said that he was eventually going to. Well, I shouldn't be surprised that he lied, And it is very interesting that we're closer in age than I thought we were. Again, I think it's some weird amalgamation of trying to appeal to like kids in their like middle school, preteen to early teens ages, because that's the only demographic that I could see maybe viewing this stuff. But it's wild that he could think like this and, be almost a full-grown adult. He might have, you might be driving, you might drive down the road and turn your head and see Braso. I don't know what his face looks like, but who knows? Yeah, so you can think about that on your way to work tomorrow.
He's trying, it's not working. Using Andrew Tate for views and using Andrew Tate on the thumbnail so it works. He got 3,000, 22,000. And then he saw this one work, so he did it again and again. This guy's trying everything and nothing works. I don't know. I don't feel bad for this guy one bit. I think he deserves this. Anyone could turn their channel around. It takes time and it takes work, but anyone could turn their channel around. You should be able to say, you know what? I messed up. Let me try to fix this. Let me try to change my content. Let me do something else. Let me be likable again. But this guy didn't even try. He just continued and buried himself even deeper and deeper and deeper to the point where he can't get out anymore. If he tried to make any other type of content that is in Dream or Dream Pedophile Confirm or Andrew Tate YouTube Shorts or Technoblade, if it's not that, he literally gets 1,000 views. This is 1,000% deserved. Hope all of this.
I agree. This is 100% deserved. And it's really interesting because, again, innovation is the key, right? And me and Braso make about the same level of effort and content, I would say, which is fine, Obviously, I think it's fine. But I still do, I feel like there's more heart behind what I do. I talk about things that I think are interesting. I talk about issues on YouTube that I think are interesting. I don't, lie about people. I don't use the death of people to advance my channel. That's not what I'm here to do, right? And you have to be able to change and build off of things, all right? You can't just stick with the one thing forever and ever and ever. And if you do, and you think, oh man, I'm good, okay, I've already gotten to this high level, I'm just gonna keep climbing. No, you're gonna plateau off just like he did. And it happens in pretty much every other job. I talked about this in my boogie video. If you are not constantly trying to improve, especially in a entertainment industry platform like this, you're gonna get passed by. Even with people loving Boogie as much as they do, at some point they're gonna get bored and move on. And maybe not even on purpose. They're just gonna stop thinking about him. And it's unfortunate. And like he said earlier on in the video, the time comes for every YouTuber. There's at some point your channel will die, but you can push that farther down the road by continuing to improve. So that's all I have to say about this guy. He's done for. He will not be making a resurgence because, like he said, he can't post anything that isn't, Technoblade or Dream or Mr. Beast related without getting a significant decrease in views. And he does not have the build of like someone who's going to be like, oh, okay, that's fine. Back to the drawing board. Let's do this. He's very, very clearly has a thought process of, man, dude, I can't believe that someone would not enjoy my content. Oh no, now I gotta just go back to Technoblade. Clearly, even though it's getting him 4,000 views, 5,000 views, that's still better than 1,000 views. Even though he might not even like doing the Technoblade stuff, but he thinks that eventually that will get him back to the prominence that got him to 100K, and he's probably trying to get to that 200K, and I don't think he'll reach it. I think his channel is going nowhere but down from here. So thank you all for watching. I really and truly appreciate it. Goodbye.